Walk down the Las Vegas Strip at 8 p.m. on a Saturday night, and you will see something that should be impossible. Empty casino floors, vacant hotel lobbies, and sidewalks with more security guards than tourists. This is supposed to be the most exciting city in America, but it feels like a post-apocalyptic movie set. But here is what is truly disturbing. This ghost town effect is not an accident. It is the intended result of a corporate strategy that is working exactly as planned. In this video, I will expose the deliberate policies that transform Vegas from America's playground into a hollow shell maintained for the ultra-wealthy, and reveal the shocking data that proves this emptiness is spreading faster than anyone imagined. The question is, if they can turn the world's most famous entertainment destination into a ghost town, what does that mean for every other city in America? This is not what decline looks like. This is what success looks like to them. The transformation of Las Vegas from a vibrant playground into a carefully maintained ghost town did not happen overnight. What we are witnessing today is the culmination of a strategic corporate vision that has been years in the making. The numbers tell a devastating story. The Las Vegas Strip now averages 60% fewer pedestrians during peak hours compared to 2019. Think about that. At 8 p.m. on a Saturday night, when the sidewalk should be shoulder to shoulder with excited visitors, you can now walk unimpeded for blocks. Casino floors that were once legendary for their energy and excitement now sit eerily quiet. Row after row of slot machines stand empty, with more employees than actual players visible at any given time. Table games that used to have waiting lists now have dealers staring into space, hoping someone might actually sit down. Hotel lobbies that should be bustling with check-ins and excitement echo with emptiness during what should be their busiest hours. What is particularly alarming is that this dramatic reduction in foot traffic is not limited to weekdays or off-season periods. Even during major holidays and events that traditionally pack the Strip to capacity, the emptiness persists. New Year's Eve celebrations that once drew over 300,000 revelers to Las Vegas Boulevard now attract less than a third of that number. Yet hotel rates continue to climb, reaching levels that effectively price out the very visitors who built Vegas into a global destination. This profound shift did not happen because people suddenly lost interest in Las Vegas. It was not triggered by an economic downturn or changing consumer preferences. The ghost town effect was engineered through systematic pricing strategies, the elimination of affordable attractions, and deliberate customer targeting designed to drive away 90% of traditional Vegas visitors. Free parking? Gone. Affordable buffets? Eliminated. Reasonable room rates? Replaced with resort fees and hidden charges that can triple the advertised price. Budget-friendly entertainment options were systematically removed from casino floors. Every decision points to a coordinated effort to transform the Las Vegas experience from one that welcomed millions of middle-class Americans into one that caters exclusively to high rollers and ultra-wealthy tourists. But here is the documented proof that this was always the plan. The evidence is hiding in plain sight in their own corporate communications. To understand how deliberate this transformation has been, we need to examine the timeline of decisions that created today's ghost town effect. The paper trail of this strategy dates back to at least 2018, when an internal MGM Resorts memo first outlined what they euphemistically called customer optimization, a corporate doublespeak term for eliminating low-spend visitors from their properties. This confidential document, later leaked to industry insiders, explicitly stated that the company's goal was to refine the customer demographic profile by implementing policies that would naturally discourage certain visitor segments while enhancing the experience for premium guests. In plain English, they wanted to get rid of average Americans and focus exclusively on wealthy patrons. By 2019, we saw the first coordinated price increases across all major casino properties. What's remarkable is the uniformity of these changes. Within a 3-month period, every major Strip property announced significant hikes in room rates, implemented new or higher resort fees, and eliminated formerly complimentary amenities. This level of coordination across supposedly competing companies suggests a deliberate industry-wide strategy. Caesars Entertainment executives were particularly candid in their 2019 shareholder meetings, with one senior vice president boasting about their success in improving customer quality, another euphemism for excluding middle-class visitors. He proudly noted that their revenue per available room was increasing despite a decline in occupancy rates. This was the first clear indication that serving fewer, wealthy customers had become the explicit goal. When the pandemic hit in 2020, it provided the perfect cover to permanently eliminate affordable options that had defined Vegas for decades. Buffets, once a staple of the Las Vegas experience, were shut down as temporary health measures. Yet even after all other restrictions were lifted, most never reopened. Those that did returned with prices 2 to 3 times higher than their pre-pandemic levels, effectively placing them beyond the reach of average visitors. By 2021, casino executives were not even trying to hide their strategy anymore. In quarterly earnings calls, they openly celebrated what one Wynn executive called improved profit margins through selective accessibility. MGM's CEO told investors they were no longer in the volume business and were instead focusing on quality revenue, corporate code for catering exclusively to high spenders. The data from 2022 and 2023 confirms the success of this strategy from a corporate perspective. While foot traffic data shows a sustained 60 to 70% decline compared to pre-pandemic levels, corporation after corporation reported record profits. Las Vegas Sands saw their profit margin increase by 22% despite serving fewer customers. MGM Resorts International boasted about achieving their highest quarterly earnings ever, while operating at reduced capacity. The math behind this strategy reveals a disturbing truth. These corporations discovered they could make more money by serving fewer people and charging them substantially more. A casino floor filled with high rollers betting thousands of dollars per hand generates more profit than one filled with hundreds of average Americans playing $25 minimum tables. A restaurant with 10 customers paying $500 per meal is more profitable than one with 50 customers paying $50 each. What is driving this coordinated assault on American tourism? That commercial logic of serving fewer people and charging them more is the core motivation. To understand why major casino corporations would deliberately transform Vegas into a ghost town, we need to follow the money, specifically to Wall Street and the demands of shareholders who care about nothing beyond quarterly profits. The pressure began intensifying around 2017, when activist investors and private equity firms began acquiring significant stakes in major casino companies. These financial players were not interested in Las Vegas as a cultural icon or entertainment destination. They viewed it purely as a collection of assets that should be optimized for maximum return on investment. Their analysis was coldly mathematical. Serving 1,000 customers spending $50 each generates less profit than serving 50 customers spending $2,000 each. The latter scenario requires fewer staff, less operational overhead, and creates less wear and tear on facilities. From a purely financial perspective, creating a ghost town that caters exclusively to the wealthy makes perfect sense. Wall Street analysts actively encourage this transformation. In a 2019 report from Goldman Sachs, analysts praised what they called demographic refinement strategies in the hospitality sector, specifically highlighting Las Vegas operators who were successfully transitioning from volume-based to value-based business models. The report explicitly recommended that investors favor companies that were reducing customer volume while increasing per-customer spending. Private equity firms like Blackstone, which acquired significant holdings in multiple Las Vegas properties, pushed this ghost town model as operational efficiency. Internal memos from these firms, later obtained through regulatory filings, reveal a deliberate strategy to minimize the operational footprint while maximizing revenue extraction from premium customer segments. The math driving this transformation is brutally simple. Eliminating free parking generates millions in new revenue, while reducing security and maintenance costs. Replacing affordable restaurants with high-end dining options increases profit margins from 15% to over 40%. Raising minimum bets at gaming tables from $5 to $25 ensures each table generates more revenue with fewer staff. Every decision points to a deliberate strategy of scarcity and exclusivity. By creating the perception that Las Vegas is now an exclusive destination for the wealthy, these corporations can justify ever-increasing prices, while actually providing less in terms of entertainment, amenities, and service. And the people who built Vegas, they are horrified by what has been done. Longtime Vegas visitors feel like they are mourning a death. The public response to this transformation has been one of profound betrayal. Visitors who have been coming to Las Vegas for decades describe the current experience as unrecognizable and soulless. On social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, the hashtag #VegasGhostTown has accumulated millions of views, with users posting side-by-side comparisons of bustling 2019 Strip footage next to current emptiness. TripAdvisor reviews for major Strip properties have become increasingly negative, with terms like apocalyptic, deserted, and eerie appearing frequently. One particularly telling review from a 20-year Vegas veteran described walking through the Bellagio at 9 p.m. on a Friday night and saying they could hear the air conditioning running because the casino floor was so empty. Las Vegas workers have been particularly vocal about the changes. Casino dealers report working entire shifts with almost no customers at their tables. Restaurant servers describe empty dining rooms even during prime dinner hours. Hotel staff speak of ghost town corridors and vacant lobbies. Many express fear about job security as properties continue to reduce staffing in response to the deliberately decreased volume. Tourism surveys reveal that families who once made Las Vegas an annual tradition are abandoning the destination entirely. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority's own data shows that repeat visitation has declined by over 40% among middle-income Americans. When surveyed about reasons for not returning, the overwhelming response is not moral objections or changing interests. It is simply that Vegas has become unaffordable for average families. Local residents have organized Remember Vegas campaigns celebrating what was lost: the affordable entertainment, the bustling energy, the sense that Las Vegas was America's playground, not just a sanctuary for the ultra-wealthy. These grassroots movements have gained significant traction on social media, with millions sharing memories of a Las Vegas that welcomed everyone, regardless of budget or background. But this ghost town strategy is spreading beyond just the Strip. Vegas was just the testing ground for a nationwide transformation. What's happening in Las Vegas isn't staying in Las Vegas. The ghost town model is being exported to other major American destinations at an alarming rate, creating a template for how corporate interests can transform public spaces into exclusive domains for the wealthy. Atlantic City is perhaps the most obvious example, with casino operators there explicitly citing the Las Vegas model as their blueprint for the future. Major properties have eliminated budget-friendly options, raised minimum bets at gaming tables, and implemented resort fees that mirror those on the Strip. The result has been predictable: a dramatic decrease in visitor volume coupled with increased per-visitor spending and higher corporate profits. But the pattern extends far beyond gambling destinations. Major theme parks across America have systematically eliminated affordable family options, while implementing complex pricing tiers that maximize revenue from wealthy visitors. One major Orlando theme park now offers a premium experience that costs over $500 per person per day, more than many families used to spend on their entire vacation. Urban tourist destinations in New York, Chicago, and San Francisco are implementing what consultants call premium tourism strategies, a euphemism for pricing out regular Americans. Historic districts that once welcomed visitors of all income levels are being transformed into luxury shopping and dining corridors accessible only to the wealthy. Public spaces are increasingly being privatized, with access restricted to those who can afford ever-increasing fees. Cruise lines that once offered affordable vacation options for middle-class families have adopted the same fewer customers, higher prices model. Major cruise operators have reduced their fleet size, while focusing on luxury offerings that cost 3 to 4 times what standard cruises used to command. The industry explicitly refers to this as demographic optimization. The goal of this national transformation is clear: convert all popular destinations into exclusive playgrounds for the ultra-wealthy, leaving empty shells maintained for the few who can afford access. The American vacation, once a democratic institution accessible to families of all income levels, is being systematically dismantled and rebuilt as a luxury product. So how do we stop this hollowing out of America? The ghost town can only exist if you let them hollow it out. The solution to this deliberate depopulation of America's recreational spaces begins with recognizing a fundamental truth: tourist destinations like Las Vegas serve a public good beyond corporate profit. They provide spaces where Americans from all walks of life can gather, celebrate, and enjoy shared experiences. When these spaces are hollowed out and rendered accessible only to the wealthy, something valuable is lost from our collective cultural fabric. The most immediate action we can take is to support businesses that welcome everyone, not just the wealthy. Some Las Vegas properties have resisted the ghost town model, maintaining affordable options and reasonable pricing. By directing our tourism dollars to these establishments, we can create market pressure against the exclusionary trend. We must also demand public accountability from corporations using public infrastructure. Las Vegas casinos benefit enormously from taxpayer-funded roads, airports, and services. Their transformation into ghost towns serving only the wealthy represents a privatization of benefits that should accrue to all citizens. Local governments have leverage through licensing, taxation, and regulation, but they will only use it if citizens demand action. Alternative destinations that prioritize accessibility over exclusivity deserve our support. Regional entertainment districts, state-based tourism, and locally owned attractions often maintain fair pricing and welcome visitors of all income levels. By choosing these options over corporate ghost towns, we signal that there is a viable market for inclusive entertainment. Perhaps most importantly, we need to recognize that the ghost town model is ultimately unsustainable. When destinations lose their energy, vibrancy, and cultural significance, they eventually lose appeal, even to wealthy customers. The exclusivity that initially attracts high-spending visitors depends on these places remaining culturally relevant, something that cannot happen in a true ghost town. When ghost town destinations lose even their wealthy customers, they will be forced to restore broader appeal. We are already seeing early signs of this correction in some markets, where properties that went too far in eliminating affordable options are struggling to maintain occupancy even among high-end customers. The pendulum will eventually swing back, but how far and how fast depends on our collective actions. They turned your playground into a ghost town and called it progress. Have you witnessed this emptiness destroying places you loved? Share your ghost town experiences below. We are documenting this together. Subscribe if you refuse to let them hollow out America.